It was just a year ago that I was weighed down by at least $25,000 worth of debt. Yeah, I know. It sounds like a lot, but maybe not to everyone. Today, I'm debt-free, but there are certain things that I started by embracing the art of simple living and finding certain ways that are transformative, but yet it doesn't keep you from living the life that you already have or changing your lifestyle to an extreme where you can't just have joy and serenity. I'll show you what I mean. I learned to stay at home and eat at home every day. So if you think about it, if you are eating out every day, say for lunch or even dinner, you're spending $30 to $50 a day. And that can turn into at least $200 to $300 a week. And so what I decided is that I needed to be wise about not only my weight loss and keeping those extra pounds off is by controlling what I do by eating my own food and putting in the right ingredients that are nutrient dense. In exchange of being nutrient dense, it's brought me good health, and it's also kept my pocketbook full by saving more money than I would have thought if I was eating out. When you look at it from that standpoint, if someone's eating 3, 4, 5 times a day and then add it up with your family and what you're buying in your groceries, then yeah, that could look like quite a bit. Our bill was usually about $800 a month for groceries. And I know with the inflation and everything going up that your pocketbook may be smaller than what it originally was. But I found ways to really save on the groceries, and that was to actually write a list. You have to write a list because when you go in the store and if you are hungry, forget it. You're buying everything in sight, and then next thing you know, you doubled your bill. So I save at least 25% because I stick to my list. I ask everyone, I go around and look into my fridge, and I really put down the things that are either gone or low, and look at the inventory in my pantry and make sure that I am keeping the right things in place, that you don't have to run to the store every 2 to 3 days. And so it's once a week that I have committed myself to shop, and that keeps that budget in check. I still buy high quality and organic foods, whole foods, and I don't worry about necessarily what that bill will be at the end of the day, because if you have a list and you're being very intentional about what you eat every day and plan by meal planning. Listen, I don't do meal planning. It wasn't just about saving money, it's about savoring the process from market to plate. Okay, I know that's a little misleading because I'm not really selling my clothes. I know that the decluttering has really changed my life, where I found items within my own closet by shopping right with what I already had. I got rid of all the items that I felt like I didn't look good in or I didn't feel good in. And so I donated all these items, and I made sure that everything is intentional that I need that is in my closet today. And as you saw in my past videos that I had decreased by 50%, it really forced me to see the items that I can mix and match. And then I have new outfits. And so that's really what impressed me about decluttering. And it made me feel great. It slowed me down from impulsive shopping of clothing that I really didn't need or I already had in my closet and looked great. Because I'm buying high quality types of clothing, I like to make sure that when I do need a piece, that I do spend the money for it. And because I know it'll last me more than a decade or so, that it definitely will make a return on its investment. And again, you have that 24-hour cooling off period. If I see something that I want, I make sure that I wait 24 hours and then come back to it. If I really want it and I really need it, I'll come back and get it 24 hours later. I embraced the freedom of less, and I donated what I didn't need. I shopped in my closet, and once again, it is a beautiful thing because rethinking how I look with what I already own, it really kept me from breaking the bank. For those of you that may work at home, this is a blessing for me because I do work at home, so I do tend to drive less. So rethinking transportation has really helped me with driving less, and so therefore I'm buying less gas, and I'm paying less insurance, and I'm paying less maintenance costs. But I actually paid off my car, which I'm very excited to announce right now because the car is very low in mileage, and it's really pretty much like a new car, even though it is considered used. I'm taking my payments and continue to make those payments, but now it's going into my savings account. We get highly stressed when we are out there in traffic, and my city is continuing to build and build, and I call it the city of orange cones because it's just constant everywhere you go. And so you're delayed to get where you're going in the first place, and you're frustrated, and then you're also stressed out just by so many cars out on the road. And it can be a form of road rage, right? So we don't want that. There is an oasis of offline activities that I have found actually very entertaining for me, and it doesn't have to deal with utilizing a digital device like your phone. We already know we should simply read more, you learn more, but also if you want to be entertained, you read a novel or something like that. I'm not really big on being a novel reader, but I do tend to want to use reading as a form of escape from my everyday mundane activities that I do with business or with just tasks at home. Replace expensive outings with gatherings at home. And so my husband and I, sometimes we take a date night and we spend it at home and have a movie night, you know, dinner and a movie. So we make our own meals and we're watching some great either old or new movies. Slow living is just not a thing, and it's not a trend, but it's about being in a busy city but not being consumed and distracted by the busyness. And that's what slow living is all about. I like to call it the sleeper communities that you really can just enjoy. So I found this other community called Lake Las Vegas. That is my place of escape. It is a place that really lifts those burdens off of you, and you feel all of a sudden like the stress is just melted away, and you just walk around. There's shops and cafes and places to go, but at the same time, you don't have to spend anything to be by the water and look at the views. Now, my husband and I, we like to go out and look at new places, new developments, homes that we get ideas of how we want to decorate our own place, and without being bothered by a salesperson or someone in a store. So we go and look at model homes to see what we really want to do in our own bathroom or our own kitchen, right? And so these are things that are activities for us, and it doesn't cost a dime except for just getting there and driving there. Paying myself first through a savings account that's in another bank or credit union that I don't really pay attention to. I set up an automatic transfer from my bank, you know, out of sight, out of mind, you know what I mean? It's just, you don't see it and you don't feel it. So every time I'm paid, I'm paying myself automatically without thinking about it. Time goes on and you look at these accounts and you're like, wow, I have an emergency fund. I have a fund just for vacationing maybe sometime in the future. or I have this fund just so it's a backup to anything, right? If you lose a job or something happens, it's good to have. It is also a fund to make sure that I paid off all my debts, like credit cards. And that's what happened. I had credit card debt and I had my car. And so those were the items that really weighed me down, because I'm not a person to keep debt for an extended period of time. Any amortization type of loans, like the car especially, yeah, that's gotta go. You still have the mortgage, but that's the only thing that I focus on after I got rid of those unsecured debts that really do not serve you a purpose, or do they bring you joy. By automating my savings, I built a financial cushion that made me feel secure and give me that sense of freedom that I really hadn't had in a long time. And this way helped me chip at my financial debts even faster. So remember, simple living isn't about cutting out what you love. It's about making space for what truly matters. Your financial health is part of this picture. So if you're into automated savings and finding financial freedom and just want to be smart about how you can do simple living and living with intention, then please do subscribe to my channel. We'll do more of these types of videos, and please leave a comment below if you want to share what your path is to financial freedom. I love to know what tricks and things that you're doing that is helping you get to where you should be in the first place, starting the new chapter and beginning again. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.